October 22nd, 2013, about 12:30. Isn't this a pretty area to drive down and enjoy? Now, citizens can't do that except for this season of the year, for whatever number of days hunting season lasts. And I support hunting seasons. Don't misunderstand. I'll take all the venison someone will give me. But the only time during the year that citizens are allowed to drive down here is this time of year, unless they're handicapped. And then sometimes they can drive down here. They couldn't well, anyway. Don't you think citizens ought to be able to come here and enjoy this? Isn't this fair? We're paying for this. We're paying for the DNR to protect it for us. Shouldn't we be able to, come down here like citizens? I believe so. I complain because the DNR cut down a bunch of brush and sprayed an herbicide on it, and they won't give me that information. I'm insulted as a citizen that should happen, but they put a poison, an herbicide strong enough to kill woody vegetation. That's more than you'd spray dandelions, I suspect. I don't know anything of the chemistry. They won't give me the records. They say they don't have the records of it. But they cut down, you can see willows over there. It was like that up here. And then in this area, they sprayed an herbicide. Now you can tell that an herbicide was spread. This is some many, many years after. And it's just it's just a grass. That's what it would look like if the roots hadn't been killed. Well, the DNR won't supply that information to me, but they allowed people, human beings, citizens, taxpayers, to come out here. The Department of Natural Resources knew full well people walked around here barefoot. The DNR hides back there in camouflage, for heaven's sakes, they know. And they let citizens walk in that. And they didn't. They posted a sign for one day that said that it was a pesticide that was sprayed. A pesticide wouldn't have killed all the woody vegetation. And that sign just prohibited people for less than a 24-hour period. And I don't think it's right that a department in the state of Wisconsin can spray something that could endanger people and not tell them about it. And then when I, as a citizen, ask for those records, that they don't have those records. They don't have the information that a private company, I forget the name right now, they contracted them to spray this. They don't have that information that they can supply to a citizen. Isn't that odd? I told the DNR many years ago, I met with there's the secretary as the head person, and then there's, I think, 5 regional directors. I met with one of them. And she invited me into the office. I wanted to videotape it, but she wouldn't allow me to videotape a meeting with someone that works for me and another agent. Randy Stark was the other agent. He was in law enforcement stuff. The woman I met with is now deceased. As I understand, brain cancer or something. That might be wrong, but she's deceased. I met with her and I explained that there were a bunch of stopping of vehicles some years back because they were speeding. Well, there wasn't a speed sign on the road down at this end, and so I pointed it out to her. And I told her I had other things on videotapes. And she asked me, at the time I was camped out here, it was legal as citizens. We got to use this place, but we can't do that anymore. I was camped out here, and I told Ms. Badger, Ruthie Badger, that I had tapes that showed some illegal behavior of the DNR. And she asked me, where are you? And I told her I was camped out here. I mean, I didn't think I had to be cautious about this is perfectly legal to be camped out here. Well, the following day I was arrested out here and I was removed. And in that time, the videotapes I had told her about were taken from my tent. I don't know who took them. I have no proof who took them. But just the day before, I was talking to the regional supervisor and told her of those tapes. And, now I'm removed and they're gone. It's a coincidence. Well, the DNR doesn't have any record of that meeting. They can't produce anything, that I met with them. I want to see what kind of records Ms. Badger, what she said about our meeting. But the DNR doesn't have any information on that they can supply to me. But they do. They could tell me to the hour how many vehicles were in the parking lot on that very day, at that very hour. They could tell me that. But the information about spraying this, they don't have it. They don't have anything about my meeting with Ms. Badger. Now, none of this area is available to any citizen or non-citizen. None of this area is available weekdays during the summer. If someone wants to come and fish here, they can't come and fish here. If they want to bird watch, they can't bird watch. This area, they closed because turtle nesting. They cut down the brush. They told an agency in charge of, giving the DNR authority to do what they wanted to do, that they had to cut the brush so the turtles could nest back here in these woods. And then the DNR hangs out in those woods in camouflage, where the turtles are supposed to be nesting. They're in there. And they supposedly see pornographic behavior because the DNR writes pornography. You read their police reports, they go on and on with descriptions of behaviors. I don't know if it takes place. The DNR, they're cautious about what they do. Anyway, here they write up these pornographic reports, but they never intercede in what they're claiming they're watching. If the DNR were watching a a rape that was taking place here, do you think they just sat back there? Would law enforcement just sit back there and take notes about, I don't even want to talk in their graphic terms. I just want to come and use this beautiful piece of land. That's a crime in this state. It's against the law. And apparently it's okay if the DNR sprays a poison and allows citizens to walk through it. That's apparently okay. I don't think so, and I believe I have a right as a citizen, as a good, patriotic citizen, I believe I have the right to protest my government. And if they won't listen to me, to shout so that my government hears me and gives me redress. And if my shouting has to be that I am nude under a sandwich board, so that someone will hear me, and then I'm arrested for trying to speak against this sort of behavior by my government. Heaven help us all if that's how it is. It will be whatever my little fine is here. It will be worth that investment to find out it is time that I move from this state. If we as citizens are prohibited from using this area, and the DNR can poison areas and let people walk through it and lay on towels on it. If that's permissible by law in this state, then it is time for me to move. And I hope everyone else as well.